What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Lauren with the Intentional Legacy. I almost forgot my own title. But yes, this is Lauren with the Intentional Legacy, and I hope you guys are doing good. This is my paycheck budget for the second paycheck in December, and we're just going to jump right into it because I don't know about y'all, but as we get a little closer to the holidays, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. You start reflecting on the end of the year and what has happened in 2020, which has been a lot. And also trying to, prepare and plan as much as possible for the 2021. So I am going to start with a budget of $2,321.31. And like I tell you guys, this is not my entire income. It comes from various sources, partial paycheck, partial side income. And the reason why I do it this way is because I think it just simplifies things for me. I do things I separate my income in terms of purpose. So there's a part of my income that is only allocated towards my household, which my significant other and I both do. So that budget, those finances, that accounting, all of that happens separately. And that's why you see a separate cash stuffing for that as well. So this is just primarily my savings, my personal expenses and bills, and my paycheck and other income sources. And then, trying to figure it out. We're doing it as best we can. And this paycheck is the second paycheck of 3 in December. And so I don't know about you guys, for those of you who get paid every other week, you get 2 months out of the year where you get 3 paychecks, and those 3 paychecks, that extra, it seems like, right, that third paycheck is an extra paycheck. But for years now, I feel like, wow, this money don't feel extra. I don't feel like I have any extra money. And so what I figured out, it's really that middle paycheck, this paycheck, and you'll see in the numbers, because the beginning of the month and the end of the month is the same in terms of bills, regardless of how many times I get paid. So it's really, instead of thinking, 1, 2, 3, and the third paycheck is automatically extra, that's not actually true, because the third paycheck comes at the very end of the month, in this case, December 31st, and then I got bills due on the 1st. So it's not really extra. I got to pay those bills like I normally would. So we're going to start off with giving at $40, medical, and this is really my medical, so that's separate from what you see in terms of my co-payments. And that's really what it is. It's co-payments for me, and then the co-payments that you see in my cash envelopes and sinking funds, that's co-payments for my kids. So I even separate it out that way. So I know what my medical expenses are versus dependent expenses. $529 savings. So this is actually college funds for both of my children. So I have one that is going to college within a year, and I have another one that will not be looking at college for another 10 years. But that does not mean we're not going to save. So the younger one should definitely have more than enough saved by the time he is ready to go. And the older one, we just continue. Even when she's in school, I'll continue to contribute, because she is planning on going to grad school as well. So that's what's up. So giving, always $40. I do not include charity in that. So, I know some of you, and a lot of us, if we've been blessed to maintain our jobs through this pandemic and blessed to maintain our incomes, I've really felt compelled this particular year to help children, because it's been rough for the kids. I mean, it's been rough for everybody, but, kids with the changing in school from hybrid or online, being in school to out of school, missing your friends, your parents, or loved ones may or may not have been sick, and just had loss and things like that. So I have participated in several community service events, and I don't include that in this. I just take that out of my own pocket because got to remind myself and my kids, I'm like, y'all are blessed and we need to share the blessings for sure. So like I said, medical is my 50, savings is their college fund. So I have 529 accounts for both of my children. Emergency fund, so I have $100 come out of my checking account and go into my emergency fund automatically every paycheck. So if we do the math, that ends up to be a minimum of $2,600 a year. And I know many are following kind of the Dave Ramsey principle of at least having $1,000. I think $1,000 is great, and I'm not gonna lie to you, when I got my first $1,000 in my fund, I felt amazing because I hadn't done that before. But quickly realized that for my family of 4, and especially with my kids, that $1,000 was just not going to be enough. So I figured if I continued, if I saved $100 every month and I had $1,200 in the first month, then I'll just continue it and make it a permanent fixture in my budget. So that's what I do, and it's good that way, because even if I if I do have an emergency, I'm not stressed and pressed if I have to use that money and put it back. So we did actually have an emergency. I took it out and I was like, oh my gosh. And at first I was like, well, girl, that's what the fund is for. So be happy and be blessed about that. And then I felt even better because I was like, well, you already have a mechanism. So after that first, month, you put $200 back, so even if I had depleted the entire thing, there's already a plan in place to at least put some of the money back, so that's what's up. So I have 2 life insurance, different policies. That's $66.23. Another one for $100. I have a Chase credit card bill that I'm putting to $100 towards, and that really is my minimum. It's actually not even about the specified minimum, it's my minimum. And my goal is actually to pay that card off by the end of this year. So this is like my standard payment, and then after that I put in whatever my lump sum is to pay my daycare. As I told you, I just take this money out and I put in the cash envelope, and then I pay it with my card and get my points. So this is just to make sure I don't spend daycare money on anything else until I pay it. Wix, so I have a website, a professional website for myself, and so that is $18.46. And then Canva, which I've just gotten into, I'm not really sure, and I'm gonna put NA because I don't remember when this is due, but I know it's coming out. It comes out automatically, that's why. So I'll put a little A there. Many of these come out automatically. That is $12.95. And as I play around with resources and tools for YouTube, I just try to figure out what makes sense, what do you need, what don't you need, that whole thing. So when you look at it, it really is not a great deal of expenses. So at least for this paycheck. So I'm going to add them up. I already have a subtotal, but I'm going to add them up here, and actually so you guys to see, so it doesn't look all crazy like where our hands go, because it's not like you can see my face, right? So anyway, 40 plus 50 plus 140 plus 100 plus 66.23 plus 100 plus 100 plus 160 plus 1846 plus 1295 equals 786. I'm sorry, 787.64, and we take away the 2321.31, and we are at $1,500.33. Wait, I didn't even say that right. So $1,533.67. And so when you look at that, I mean, that's pretty good. Like, there's a huge portion now. So that's what tells me, and I'm loving doing the paycheck budget this way, because then I can really see, like, not only what paycheck I have money, but at what point in the month does any extra money fall, because I don't really feel like this is extra per se. This is just it's still going to be earmarked for stuff, so it's not going to go just floating around there anyway. So moving on, we will bring down that $1,533.67. My cash envelopes, as you guys know, I keep it limited to the 6 because I just don't want to have a ton of cash on me that I don't plan on spending. So my nails, $60, kids copay, $60. Hair, I actually bumped up to $40 because I do have a hair appointment coming up before my last paycheck. Eating out, $50. Personal, $10, and shopping is $10, which equals $230. And take that $230 away from the 15, right? Yeah, so $1,533.67 minus $230 now gets me $1,303.67. And you can see, like, as we're going through this, we're still with over $1,000 left to allocate. And so for me right now, I am not gonna go ham on filling up cash envelopes, just because part of my process, which the end of the year always triggers for me, I always start to look at how much debt I have or what large bills I have that need to be paid in terms of cash flow. So although I am actively paying off debt, but I am not vigorously paying off debt. Some of my debt is low interest, and I'm okay with it taking a little bit longer. And I think I mentioned this to you before. I will not forego investing in my or my children's future just in the name of not being in debt, because I feel like there is value in investing now, right? And having that money grow. I can't get that time back. So what I have planned to do is, as I fill in my cash envelopes, and I'll just go through them really quickly. What I like to look at, because I know there's snowball method, there's avalanche method, there's all types of stuff, different approaches. And I think at different points in time, all the approaches are valid, because the main point is for you to pay off your debt, right? I start, and I've always kind of done this before I understood that there were systems to help address these things, was I started to pay down debt based on how much cash flow it would free up in my budget. So even though, let's say, the snowball method says that I pay off the smallest balance first, for example, which totally makes sense. But in most cases, the smallest balance in a bill only amounts to, let's say $30, $40 in cash flow in my actual paycheck that's back in my pocket, either to go towards another bill or for savings. So that would be snowball essentially. So, but if I have a bill that, just for argument's sake, let's say I had a medical bill, and let's say the payment on that bill is $400 or $500 a month, but the bill in itself is a few $1,000s. I would rather put my money towards paying off that bill, because in those few months I can pay off those thousands of dollars, and now I have $400 to $500 back in my cash flow. So I mean, it might sound obvious, like I'm saying using the avalanche method, but I don't necessarily adhere to the system. Like if you put it into the little spreadsheet and it tells you what you pay first, second, and third, I don't necessarily do that. But I absolutely, if there are any bills that are taking up too much space in terms of my bi-weekly cash flow, like $500, $600, those are the bills I'm always looking at, because I'm like, that $500 for one bill could equal 3 credit card payments. So let me get that done and then work on some other stuff, if that makes sense. So my sinking fund categories are the same. Travel is 20, car maintenance 30, car insurance 20, my daughter 20, my son and boo 10, Christmas 100, wedding 30, dues, taxes, and birthday are 10 each. for a total of $260. So we take that away from the $1,303.67, and we are now at $1,043.67. So essentially, out of everything, that is a significant amount of money. As of right now, I am most likely going to just leave that and put it into, let me say it right. I'm actually going to take that money out and put it into my debt repayment bank account. So I have a separate bank account just to pay bills. And the reason why I do that, so I have a bank account to pay my bills, and then I have a separate bank account just to pay off debt. And the reason why I do that is, one, obviously you pay your bills for everything and your expenses, but that debt bank account I really love, because now I have a separate account with transaction history, and it will show me how much I've paid for debt or something. If I paid something off and then I had to, let's say I charged it up again and then I paid it off again. So, many companies, Chase, Capital One, they'll help and they'll give you an analysis of your statement on what you've paid. And so I just like having it separate, because I know anything that's in that account is just for extra debt payment. It is not meant to pay bills. And so that's just helped me. That's just one of the ways that's helped me. So you can consider that kind of like my virtual debt repayment sinking fund, if you will, or cash envelope. So I think what I'm going to end up doing with this, for any sinking funds that I have that are really small, like for example, my goal for my prime sinking fund is $120, and I believe I already have a few dollars, $30 or $40 in there. So I would put in $100 into my prime envelope, and now I don't have to worry about that for the entire 2021. Same thing with my taxes. I believe I have about $100. I think I'm at $80 actually with taxes. So if I put in another $200, I'm good. I don't have to stuff that envelope for the remainder of between now and when my taxes are due. I don't have to stuff that envelope, and then I can start fresh in May after I get my taxes prepared. And then the same thing, what I have planned on doing is car insurance. I had planned on building up, so I don't have a particular goal for car insurance, but I know coming up, my daughter in 2021 is most likely, as a new young driver, going to be on my car insurance. And it's going to be a lot. And even though baby girl does not have a problem paying her insurance, and I do appreciate her for that, I do not want her to worry so much. I did this wrong. I do not want her to worry, about bills just yet. Like, I'm still going to take care of my baby. Her dad and I will still take care of her. But this helps me, so whenever, she gets put on the insurance, it's not a shock to the system. We have the money, and it should be like a month or two in advance to, just take care of her car insurance. And the goal is to have a year's worth of car insurance so that I'm down to paying it like every, 4 times for the month, and then go 2 months off and then 4 months on. My goal is to just do it once every 6 months and just be done with that. So that pretty much is my budget, even with taking these 3 items out for, sinking funds. So prime 100, taxes 200, and car insurance 300, for a total of $600. That would still leave me with $443.67, which, like I said, would go into the debt repayment envelope. So I think, or account. And I think too that something to note before I end is just that sometimes you have money, you're not 100% sure what you want to do with it, especially in these times that have been so uncertain. So I'm hesitant to necessarily earmark everything and pay off everything, because unexpected expenses have absolutely come up. So if I put it in my debt repayment account, it's not in my normal checking account, so I can't spend it on frivolous stuff. But it's still liquid, it's still available, so if I need to spend it on something important, it's there. So that's the other reason why I like that account. So I hope this was helpful to you. Hope you guys are keeping, on track with your budgets, or even if you're not and you didn't meet your goals, now's the time to set new goals, and let's look right in 2021. So again, this channel is all about managing your money so your money doesn't manage you. I hope you have a good day. Peace out.